Hey, what's going on? I'm Ryan Stewman, founder and CEO of Closer Capital, where we help entrepreneurs like you get access to the capital they need to grow and scale their business. One of the questions that I get asked the most all the time is, where's the best way to spend money? So if I'm taking on debt, if I'm borrowing money from a private entity, a bank, or an investor, where's the best place to deploy that debt to where I can make a margin on it? And if you don't understand that, what I'm saying is, when you take on debt as a business owner, right? So you take on debt as a business owner, not as a consumer, you're looking to make margins on that debt. And what a margin is let's say the debt is at 20%. If you can make 25%, then that's a 5% margin that you're making on that debt. So you always want to be able to make some sort of margin so that you got an ROI on the debt, or the debt could be the death of your company. So I want to give you the 5 best ways to deploy capital that will give you a margin on your money and help you pay off and accelerate the actual debt to where you can grow. Because the best thing about debt for a company and getting capital, getting investment, getting infusions in for your business, the best part about that is you get 100 grand today, and in 6 months you get 200 grand. Then in a year you get $500,000. It never ends. You don't just borrow money as a Band-Aid once. You deploy capital to continue getting an ROI and scale your business. So let's talk about this. Number 1, the best, and I'm going to go from best to worst, okay? But these are the top 5. Number 1 is marketing. The best place that I've seen to get the biggest ROI is in spending money in marketing. But here's where most people make the mistakes. They think marketing is direct mail. They think marketing is a postcard. They think marketing is putting up flyers on people's doors or advertising in a magazine. Those things are ego plays. Okay, for most businesses, they don't work. When's the last time you went to your mailbox, got a bunch of junk mail, and went, dude, I can't wait to open this shit and see what they're trying to sell me? It doesn't happen. Okay, marketing is based on a couple of different things, 3 different things to be exact. Number 1, you have to have an irresistible offer. Okay, with Closer Capital, our irresistible offer is we help entrepreneurs get access to the capital they need so that they can scale their business. That's our offer. We give access to the capital you need. So if you're looking to borrow money, we're the place you can go to. We put that offer in front of them. Now, if I drop that offer in front of people that are unemployed, then I could have the best offer in the world. I could say, hey, Closer Capital, where we give you free money, come and get it. But if I put it in front of people that are unemployed, I can't loan to them anyway, right? So number 1, we have to have the good offer. Number 2, we have to have the right audience, okay? Now, you can have a bad offer, but a good audience, and it still work out. But you could have a killer offer and the wrong audience, and it won't work out at all. So those are the 2. The third thing is a way to pay to get the attention of your audience by putting your offer in front of them. So offer, audience, attention. That is the formula that you need for good marketing. So what do I mean by attention? How can I pay Facebook to put me in front of my target audience? How can I pay Google to put me in front of my target audience? How can I pay a website that gets a lot of traffic from my visitors? How can I pay them to put me in front of my audience? How can I create a good offer and get in front of the right audience on the right platform? Because I see people invest in marketing. We did a loan for a window company about 6 months ago. They went out, they invested $25,000 into a marketing campaign that turned a $300,000 ROI for them. I don't know any other thing on the planet that you can invest money in and nail those 3 things and see 2, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20x return on your ad spend, okay? Number 2, second best thing to spend money on is supplies and inventory, right? Like, here's the thing. This happens to a lot of business owners. They get a company, they go out, and let's say that you sell t-shirts. And now all of a sudden you've got an opportunity to go to Fayetteville, Arkansas, and go down that long hallway and have a conversation with the supply and buy gods at Walmart. And they say, yes, we're willing to do this, but we need a minimum of 300,000 units. And while typically you might carry 10,000, so this is more than you could imagine, but they've given you a purchase order for it. So you can come to a company like Closer Capital and we can say, okay, you got a purchase order for Walmart for $300,000 that pays over the next 9 months, and we'll factor that invoice, get you the money to where you can invest in your supplies, sell it to Walmart, and get you a return on investment. That is what I talk about when I'm talking about supplies and inventory. The next thing is, let's say that you're a residential roofer And typically everything that you do is insurance work, but you have a salesperson on your team that went out and got a big ass $4 million commercial job. You're not used to having to buy the supplies. You're not used to having to do all that. You can come to Closer Capital with that purchase order and that contract from you and that company. We can factor that out, get you access to the inventory, the supplies, where you can complete that multi-million-dollar job and get your profit from it. So buying supplies and inventory for your business, a great way to invest capital. Number 3 is equipment. Right? You need to buy. I had a conversation just today with a gentleman that is developing a neighborhood who needed to buy a couple of more earth movers and excavators. Like, absolutely perfect. He knows that every second that earth mover is running, it's $700 an hour. The engine's on, somebody's in the seat, it's $700 an hour. So it makes sense for him to use capital so that he doesn't deploy his own cash that he spent saving up, to go out and use cheap capital to deploy to buy expensive equipment, millions of dollars of equipment, by the way, to where he can grow and make hundreds of millions of dollars doing his development for his neighborhood. So investing in equipment. Another great story is we had a plumber who bought an equipment from us, and within 2 weeks made 4 times the amount of money he borrowed from us, paid the loan off, went out, set up a line of credit for future use. So equipment is a great way to make a return on investment and deploy your capital. Number 4, market expansion. Okay, we have a gentleman that runs a company in Ohio, came to us, got a loan, bought that same similar type of company in Florida and in Arkansas. So now he's used this money to expand from 1 home base operation into 3 branch operations across different segments of the United States. So borrow money to acquire those businesses so that he can go through and have some market expansion. So this is going to take him from, let's say he's making $1 million at location number 1. He's expanded into 2 locations. Let's say they're 50% good as the one that he has now. Now he's doubled his money, doubled his revenue, and he's been able to leverage capital, make a margin on that in order to pull that off. The 5th and final thing is hiring key players. Now, not just hiring anybody, because anytime you hire an employee, no matter if it's the COO or the executive assistant, it's how can I get an ROI on this person? If I'm hiring an executive assistant, then I'm saying, okay, I'm buying back my time. I'm going to put my work on this person so that I'm buying back my time for best, highest, and use. If I hire a salesperson, right? Hey, I'm paying this salesperson. I get a return on investment because I'm paying them 20% so that I've got an 80% margin on everything that they sell that allows me to leads, technology, staff, everything that we need, right? But you should look at each individual employee as an investment. How do I pay this person $100,000 a year? And what is my ROI on this person? Am I getting a 20%? Do I get $120,000 worth of work? Do I get $150,000, $200,000, $300,000? Because hiring key players, not just anybody, can be a huge return on your investment. Let's say that we loan you $250,000 because you need it as a signing bonus to hire some high-level bigwig COO away from a company like Google or Facebook. But you know, as soon as this guy comes in, crunches the number, does the data, puts the operations together, it's going to increase your profitability 10, 20% to the bottom line. It's going to increase your revenue 10, 20% to the top line. So you're going to make a shitload of money by making this key hire for this particular important, well-trained, well-qualified person for the position. This is a good investment to make. Okay, so this is a good investment because you know this person is going to come in and create a 30% margin in your company overall, and all you're having to do is borrow the money to pay that bonus and paying it out along with their salary. So 5 ways that I've seen people really make a quick ROI on deploying capital, because the way that it works is you get capital, you go out there, you put that money to work, you get a return on investment, then you need more capital because you got bigger jobs, so you go borrow more money, then you use that, and all the time while you're doing this, running this cycle, you're defeating taxes. Right? You have a partner with the bank so that if you ever need trouble, you ever need more money, you ever run into trouble, you ever get a big project, you've always got somebody there on your team to fund you. And that's who we want to be for you at Closer Capital. We don't want equity in your company, but we want to be your partner. We want to be your money supply. Anytime you, your clients, your friends, your network, anytime that you think about, hey, I need to borrow money, we want to be your first conversation. And if we can't do it, we'll direct you to somebody that we trust that can. So if you want to get a loan through Closer Capital so that you can deploy your money in one of these 5 ways, simply click the link and get pre-qualified below in the description of this video. And by the way, if you want to know more about making money, making margins on your money, then the video that's about to pop up right now will take you over there and explain more of that. We'll see you there.